right, the last part of this unit that we're going to cover in the practice exercise involves various things. One, we're going to talk about charts, which is up here in the charts tab. We're also going to talk about document properties and a few other smaller items that we're going to cover. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to embed a cylinder chart into the worksheet. So we're going to start by clicking on cell A3. We're going to hold down the mouse. We're going to scan all the way over to G8. So A3 through G8 should be highlighted. Then you're going to come up here to our ribbon and we're going to click on the Charts tab. On the Insert Chart area up here, we're going to actually pick the columns. A cylinder chart is a type of column chart. And so right here you see where it says cylinder, and we're specifically going to embed a clustered cylinder. So we click on that and we notice that the chart pops up right here. Now we want to move this chart so that way we can see the data and the chart. So we're going to move it down. I want the top left hand corner to be even with A11. Then we are going to drag. If you notice that around the chart there's the blue area and it's got some dots, you have to put your mouse on those specific areas. So we're going to put it over here on the right and we're going to drag it all the way down to H, column H, and then we want to drag it to row 23. So mine is a little big, so I'm going to move it up just a little bit here. So it should be from A11 all the way over to H11, and then from A23 should be as long as it goes. So as you can see, we can see the data and the chart. Next, we want to add a chart style. So just like we did with the tables, we can change the chart style. Chart styles are right over here. We're going to put our mouse over it and then we can click on the down arrow to get more styles. The one that I want you to pick is actually over here in the second column, and we're going to actually pick the fifth one down, so this one right here. And notice that the colors change slightly and then this is grayed a little bit, so you can play around with that. Also, I want to point out in the tab, or I'm sorry, the ribbon, that we have the tabs chart layout and format that pop up just like we did once we insert a picture. Okay, now to deselect the chart, you just click anywhere outside of the chart and notice that the blue box around it also disappears. Next, we're going to change the worksheet name and the sheet tab color. Like we discussed before, the worksheet names are down here, and by default, it's going to automatically name it Sheet 1. So in order to change that, we're going to double click on the actual words Sheet 1 and notice that they turn blue. We're going to name this one Lifetime Fundraising Summary. And you can make it as short or as long as you want. Alright, then we press the Enter key and it changes it to that permanently. Now we're going to hold down and control click, or we can secondary click on the bottom left hand corner of that, or on the tab for that worksheet in general, and we can choose a tab color. And so you see right here we have insert tab, delete, rename. We can move it or copy it. We can select them all, etc. So we're going to pick tab color, and we want the tab color to actually be this red color here, accent 2. So we'll click on that, and then we're going to go ahead and close the tab color window. And notice down here that the tab is now that red color. Okay, next thing we want to do is change the document properties. And so we want to get to that document property dialog box, and it's similar just like in Word. We come up here to File, and then we're going to choose Properties, which is all the way down at the bottom. The dialog box pops up here, and we want to go ahead and change a few things. The subject area, we're going to type in CIS 101. The author, your name should automatically be there. Okay? If there's a company name, go ahead and delete that. And then keywords, we're going to type in lifetime fundraising summary. And then we're going to hit OK. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about the printing. Now if you come up here to File, Print, the print dialog box is going to pop up. And we want to talk about this one for a minute. Sometimes your charts, when we look at the preview, notice that part of my worksheet is cut off. And this is due to the page setup. So you can come down here, go to page setup, and I'm going to change that to a landscape view. Hit OK. Go to, and then now you'll notice that it's page 1 of 1. I can see all the information on here. Another thing that I want to show you how you can tell. There's this blue hash mark line right here. That is the edge of the paper. So I can see that all of this is going to fit on the paper. If I go back and I change this to portrait, you'll notice that my blue hash mark has moved now, and it's right there. So ahead of time, that's how you can tell whether or not your paper is going to fit your chart onto one page or 2 pages. And obviously we want to print on 1 page, A, because it's going to be easier to comprehend all the data and look at it, and B, because it is user friendly. The last thing that I want to show you about is called auto calculate, and there's a few things that we can do with that. Auto calculate is right down here at the bottom in the status bar. We select the range B6 through G6. So we're going to select the fund runs, basically their data. Then we're going to click the auto calculate down here. And notice that sum is the default that it's set up on. We want to choose max. And we're going to see that this number down here has changed. And it's going to display the maximum value within that range. So it automatically figures out that Chamber City has the maximum amount of fundraising money available. Now you can do this with a bunch of different things, and you can average. So the average for that for the fund runs is 52,000, etc. Okay, so that is just a quick way to auto calculate things if you didn't want to put in formulas for everything. Now I want you to go ahead and save it once again, and then we are going to submit this on to My Big Campus.